All right, December 1st. We lost some money before the show even started. So we'll see how today's show goes here. There he is. He's back. So money out and back in just like that to start the show. But December 1st, the starts of the Christmas months. I know people have had decorations up since November 1st, but changes for everybody. We'll break down last night's games on today's show. We'll get into tonight's games if there's any best bets that are going on as well. We will discuss the Vancouver Canucks because how could we not after the move that they made last night? But before we get into all of that, I do want to remind people that today's show, as always, is sponsored by BetStamp. The easiest way to improve as a sports bettor is by using multiple sports books and always getting the best odds. We recommend using an odds comparison tool like BetStamp to help you do so. BetStamp compares odds across every sports book, whether that's for games, futures, or player props. You can save time and money by checking BetStamp before you bet. So make sure to download the app today. You can find that available on iOS, Android, as well as on the web. If you are looking to sign up for a new sports book, please check out the offers available at betstamp.app/edgework. The link is available in the description of the show as well, whether you're watching on YouTube or if you're listening back on podcasts. You'll find it in there, betstamp.app/edgework. It does help support the show, so we do appreciate that. All right, guys, 3-3 day yesterday on the show. We lose out on the juice. We end up with a negative 0.9% ROI. But that being said, on the season still, we are 96, 92, and 1 over the course of 189 bets so far this year. From everyone on the Monday through Friday shows, we are up a 4.8% ROI, which just continues off of what we had going for us last year here on the Edgework show. As a cumulative, including last year, up 37.1 units, 3.2% ROI over the sample size of nearly 1,100 bets. So great job by the Edgework team. Round of applause to you all, to everyone who comes through here on Monday through Friday, sits here, deals with me, and then gives out best bets because you guys have been absolutely crushing it. But before we get into bets here today, so money, there's something really pressing that you had to get off your chest. The Vancouver Canucks, cap management, making good trades, starting seasons off strong, hiring a good coach. The hell is going on out there in Vancouver?
This is so weird to me that we actually have competent management here. So it's been since the prime of the Mike Gillis era, where um, and since then it's just been like move after move. It's just you just don't understand what's going on, what the vision is, what the long term focus is, and for the first time in so long, it's clearly defined how this team is being built. It's clearly defined where they want this team to go. You have I don't know the last time you can say where the Canucks have six NHL caliber defensemen that when everyone is healthy, all the minutes would be allocated efficiently. You'd have your you don't have to overwork Quinn Hughes if you don't need to. So it's all starting to fall into place, right? Even
Mm-hmm.
stuff where like you have an overabundance of forwards, right? Of middle six forwards, for example, that the wingers that the Canucks have. Well, why don't we get creative to try to get rid of someone so that we can address a need on that we have on defense, right? So, and that was never happening in the Jim Benning era. Um, like in the last like 5 6 years, and you know, like going back over the last 10 years or so since the Canucks went to the cup final, the worst thing that happened was that bubble run, right? Because it it absolutely just disillusioned the franchise into thinking that they were something more than they were, right? So we're
Mm-hmm.
finally back at a point where there's a realistic outlook. The team is growing and building towards something that I think is sustainable in today's NHL, and they're doing it the right way.
Are you happy with this Zadorov trade that they made here yesterday?
I am. If you look at him as a player in a vacuum, um, yeah, there's not much there in the sense that he's not going to he's not going to significantly improve the chances of your team, right? So that's just looking
Mm,
at him as a player. But if you take that player and his skill set and you put him on what the Canucks need, then yes, that makes a difference. He's an asshole on
agreed.
the ice, right?
Yeah.
The the Canucks, it's no secret they've been known to be a softer team, right? Now they have on their defense they have three guys over 6'5". They're growing a bigger team. They're that's what's shown is what wins in the NHL now, right? You need a bigger team, especially on defense. You need a bunch of assholes, right? And Zadorov provides that. He can shorten the ring. He can eat minutes, right? And yes, he's going to make defensive mistakes. Of course he will, but that's okay because you have an elite goaltender, right? So like when all these things come together, that's when him as a player is
Yeah.
what's a very strong acquisition by the Canucks.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
agree. Alex, you see that trade coming across the Twitter feed yesterday? Were you as shocked that the Vancouver Canucks are the team that went out and picked them up?
A little bit. It's interesting to always see interdivision trades, especially with Calgary, a team that those two teams have had bad blood between each other for quite some time. That's a rivalry that I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough, especially when they had their playoff battles going back years and years ago. Those are two teams
Sorry,
that are
Alex, is that the
fun to
one with
watch.
Torts going into the locker room? Is that when that happened?
Hmm.
Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
yeah, all right.
Yeah, and then had like the line brawls, like two line brawls, I think, right before they were playing each other in a playoff series. So yeah, so there's,
Yeah,
there's there's history there. So, and that's a good thing for Vancouver side, right? To have somebody who understands that division, knows that history, that can't hurt, that can only help. But Zadorov, the fact that he wanted to get the hell out of Calgary so bad, excuse me, that also I think he's gonna feel some fire. This is a guy who has put up some good numbers with some really bad teams. I watched him with my Hawks play well, and that was a horrible team. And even now, Calgary off to a bit of a rough start. So now he's going to a better team. He gets to improve their situation, actually play with a team that looks like they're going to be a contender throughout this season. I think it's a great move.
also, I got to give a shout out to probably the worst timed hockey tweet of the entire year yesterday. I don't know if anyone else saw this. Yesterday morning, the Calgary Flames posted a 3-minute sit down video with Nikita Zadorov in
No
which they
way.
discussed their, yes, and they broke down keys to winning against the Dallas Stars yesterday, what they had to do in that game, and then a little look ahead at the remainder of the season where they were trying to preview kind of the goals and stuff of the team. There was a little bit more to it than that. And yeah, it was maybe like 6 hours later, 5 hours later, he was traded to the Vancouver Canucks. So,
Wow.
yeah, round of applause to the Edgeworth crew for a great start to the season. Round of applause to the Calgary Flames social team for that incredibly mistimed tweet there.
That's like when guys get traded on
Unfortunate.
their bobblehead night, basically.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was a interesting one to see. I was scrolling through, I see that, I'm like, holy shit, I can't believe they posted this. But there you go. A couple games here on the schedule tonight that we'll get to. We'll break down both, take a look at each of these. And first and foremost, we'll start with the San Jose Sharks, New Jersey Devils. And so, Monty, I'll go to you on this one. You're our resident San Jose Shark guy after the pick you gave out the other night. San Jose plus 403, the New Jersey Devils minus 450. You seeing a total of 6.5 right now. What are your thoughts on where this total's coming in at, the price you see on either side of this game, and if there would be any way that you'd have any interest in betting on this one?
I do. I think that so the Devils' goaltending struggles, um, they're well known, they're well accounted for, they're already priced in, right? The Sharks, their goaltending struggles, they're also well known and they're already priced in. With the Sharks, we talked about this in their game against the Bruins yesterday that even if the Bruins are not able to tighten up defensively, I don't um, I don't respect the Sharks offensively enough to to not play that under last night, right? So
Mm,
it's a similar situation. Obviously, the Devils have been going through their own defensive struggles as well, but I am seeing some element of them tightening it up, right? as they've been slowly getting healthy here. Whereas with the Sharks, they're still not scoring, right? Regardless of what's happened. So now you look at the market, you look at the price, right? We're already at a juice 6.5, right? So if you are not taking into account, or if you feel that the market has not taken into account that of the Devils' goaltending struggles or their defensive struggles, where would you make this number? Would you make it 7? Right. So I think that all of that, because we're seeing a juice 6.5, it's already been accounted for in the market. So at a plus money 6.5, I am coming in on the under here. Right. I do need that plus money. I think that everything that we talk about in this game with these teams right now as they stand has already been accounted for. Where I see the edge is I feel that the Devils are starting slowly to tighten it up defensively, and I don't feel that
Right.
their goaltending struggles are going to be are going to last throughout the season here. Whereas I see that the Sharks offensive struggles should continue. So that's where I see the edge at the plus money 6.5 on the under.
All right, there you go. First pick locked in. Again, you can find these all in the BetStamp app in the Find Better section. Edgework HQ. Alex, any thoughts for you in this game here? Do you agree with So Money?
I do agree with him, and it's exactly what you saw from the Sharks and Boston game yesterday. Like I said, there was no way to really jump into that game because everything had been kind of priced out. The only thing that made sense with that was really the under. And the Sharks, that's something we'll have to look at moving forward. The Sharks are going to be a team where the better quality teams, and that's most of the league when you pair them up against the Sharks, but they're going to work on whatever issues they have. If they're struggling defensively, they're going to tighten up and work on the back end. If they're struggling offensively, that's the team to open up a can of whoop ass and get 5 or 6 goals against. So I think that's the way we have to kind of approach San Jose, is that they're going to kind of be the workout tool, if you will, for some of these teams. So an under makes complete sense here. There's a player prop that I actually have circled with this, and it's something I've been just kind of dumping into a little bit lately, looking for player props that are priced above plus 300, grabbing some good value. I think Dawson Mercer's live to get a power play point. You can get him some very high odds. I'm seeing as high as plus 575 at BetMGM. That's something I would maybe sprinkle a half unit on. Dawson Mercer to get a power play point tonight in this contest.
All right, we'll track it at the plus 575 because that is a little bit more widely available there. But definitely, again, as we always recommend, shop around because you can see plus 600s out there. So we'll go half unit plus 575, widely available number. There you go. Look at that. Tune in. You get main market play as well as digging into the power play player props. So digging into the weeds here on the Friday show. But the first game, I was expecting not much for today from you guys. Not necessarily that you guys weren't coming prepared, but just 2 games, minimal options here, and we'll talk about the games and
I could keep you on your toes there, Zach.
All right. Yeah. Searching through for value, though. That's all.
Hey, I appreciate it. I like it. All right, there you go. So first 2 picks locked in. We'll recap all of them at the very end as well. So don't worry about that if you do miss them, but should be in here in real time anyways. Now, let's get to the second game of the night here. The Ottawa Senators on the road against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Columbus right now, plus 140. The Senators, minus 148. You see a total in this one at 6.5. That is big plus money we're seeing to the under 6.5 in this one. Plus 120. You can see plus 115s, 110, 111. A lot of those around. Heavily juiced to the over at the minus 125, the best price available on Pinnacle there. Alex, any thoughts for you on where this number is currently sitting at? Would you want to get involved on a team side? Would you want to get involved on a total? Or is there another way you might want to attack this one?
Yeah, there's another way I would attack this. I'm going with the regulation draw. I grabbed plus 350 at Caesars this morning. 4 of the last 8 meetings have gone past regulation with these 2 teams, and I could see this being kind of a tight back and forth battle. Was also kind of looking at the first period over 6-2 trend the last 8 meetings, but that price is a little bit high. You're seeing 2s, or you're seeing 1.5s where you have to lay almost $1.65 or $1.70. So I would recommend looking for that in game, waiting for about 3 or 4 scoreless minutes and trying to grab the first period over there. But I'm definitely on the regulation draw plus 350 tonight.
All right. And so, Money, where do you kind of come in on this game?
Yeah, as my man George Costanza once said, it moved. I had value on I, I had value on the Sens, but yeah, I it's way too far gone here. So a couple of things. Columbus, they did have a couple of good wins on paper against Boston. I believe against the Devils, I believe as well. Yeah. So in New Jersey and against Boston, I mean, on paper they were good wins, but they didn't play well in those games. I thought that you had Merzlikins play well above his standard this season. So I still don't view Columbus them as a serious team right now. Still, I think that they have a lot of internal conflict as well as they're just not playing well on ice, even if they are somehow pulling off a 5-2 win against the Bruins here. So the Senators, they are a team that I would like to get involved with. But of course, you look at the number, right? So even if you think the Senators are going to win, they're already into the mid 150s, low 160s. So where are you going to take that number if you think the Senators are going to win? And I can't take it much. I can't take it past that number at all. So for that reason, I'll pass. Um, yeah, there was an opportunity on the Senators earlier, but it just got away. So for that reason, at this current number, we will have to pass.
All right, no worries. You don't force plays here on the show if we don't got them. We saw an example earlier this week on I believe it was Wednesday's show. Now that might have been maybe just Matt Alber saying like, "Hey, we lost too many picks here on the show. I'm just gonna not give one out and say that I didn't have any for tonight." But, just kidding there, Matt. Yeah, I do see Alex commenting in the chat there saying hit the like button. Hit the like button if you haven't already as well. Make sure to subscribe here to the Edgework HQ YouTube channel. We do appreciate the support. We're continuing to try to get to 2,000 subscribers here on the Edgework channel. So please hit that like button, hit subscribe. If you know other people who would like the show, feel free to share it along with them. That'll do it for the games that we have here tonight. As far as this weekend goes, we're not going to get into some of the games and giving out best bets or anything like that. You do have to follow us on Twitter at EdgeworkHQ for our Saturday best bets that are given out every Saturday morning before all the games start. But so, Money, are there any games that are sticking out to you this weekend you've got your eye on, or teams that you're looking at that you want to start backing, betting on to win here, and you're seeing maybe some opportunities coming up this weekend that you're going to be looking to get behind?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a team out west that I kind of follow somewhat closely, and they're in Calgary tomorrow, right? So I think that's a situation for the Canucks where I'm very interested and intrigued to see what that number comes up. Couple of things. So yesterday's game, right? Like, I by the way, I felt so dirty. They're sitting there like quietly cheering for Vegas with everybody around me and stuff, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
I don't want to go through that experience. And like that was a big play I had on Vegas as well. So that really sucked. But so like what I was saying yesterday, I guess about that game was that you have at this point now, your teams are being defined in terms of where their ceiling is and where their floor is, right? So that was a situation where, and we've started seeing this for the Canucks, like their caliber of team, um, they can't get to a certain level that the elite teams can, right? And that's not meant to be an indictment against the Canucks because I don't think there's anything wrong with that. That's just where they are right now in their in their development, and it's good that they are playing these kind of games. It's nice to have those kind of barometers against these kind of teams at this point in the season because I think it's going to be beneficial for them down the road, right? So um, Vegas, that was a game where there were some intangible elements there as well that kind of made me think that like this might be a ceiling game for Vegas. And obviously, like we know what the Canucks are at this point, right? There's no fraudulence here. Like they are a second to high third tier team that is unable to get to a first tier level, right? That doesn't mean they're a fraud. That means that they're just not better than the best teams in the league right now. right? So they couldn't get to that level. Now tomorrow's game, I do expect more of a Canucks type ceiling performance, right? I do need the price because Calgary is starting to kind of play better as well. But that's the game that sticks out for me. I would like to get involved with the Canucks because if they are at a ceiling level, I think their ceiling is going to come in a lot stronger than where the Flames are playing right now.
You think Zadorov tries to kill somebody tomorrow night?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Fair
The guy's an asshole. I've
Yeah.
loved watching him play, right? Like
Yeah.
he's absolutely gonna go after someone. It's great.
Yeah, no, I 100% agree. I really like what he can bring, and I agree with your assessment, especially off the top there of like him as a singular entity is not a game changer for the team, but him
No.
within the organization in the right fit, that's massive for a team. So I definitely agree with that. Alex, are there any teams that you're looking at this weekend, looking to get behind, or any games that are catching your eye right now?
Well, I definitely be watching that particular game because you can count on Nikita Zadorov definitely trying to find Jonathan Huberdeau and laying a big hit for sure. That's probably the matchup that would make most sense in that game. But no,
Yeah.
my Blackhawks are a team I'll be watching for sure, and not necessarily in the most festive of moods. Going to Winnipeg on Saturday, coming up here to St. Paul against the Wild on Sunday. And this could just be a couple of games that are just high-scoring overs. The Hawks are getting some offense, but they aren't getting much defense, and the goaltending's been brutal. So that's two things that I've struggled. I'll probably be looking at overs in both of those contests. The Hawks have struggled in Winnipeg over the years, and they've struggled against the Wild during the regular season away from Chicago as well. So it might be an unfortunate weekend for Hawks fans, but we might be able to get some money out of it.
All right, there you go. Preview of this weekend, preview of tonight's games, a recap of the Vancouver Canucks trade that went down last night, as well as a couple of best bets. So recapping where we're at for tonight, we got 3 different bets here. You can track these all in the BetSimp app. Find Better section as Edgework HQ as always. But in the Devils Sharks game, we're looking at Dawson Mercer over 0.5 power play points plus 575 for a half unit there. Then we're going to go to the Sharks Devils game as well and take the under 6.5 plus 105. And finally, we're looking at the Sens Blue Jackets money line regulation time draw. Plus 360 there. That is the Sens Blue Jackets regulation time draw plus 360. So those are our 3 bets for tonight. Hopefully everyone enjoys the games. Appreciate you all for tuning in here today and throughout the course of the week. Muted so money.
I just want to lament on something here. So
Yeah.
so the plays last night, right? Whatever, right? They went 3-3, like whatever, right? What bugs me though is that the play that we didn't make and what we talked about, right, in that Minnesota Nashville game, right? So
Oh.
right, so it was clear, right, like that, and we talked about this yesterday, where like Nashville's play was starting to dip, right, and the market wasn't picking up on that, right, and Minnesota, whether you want to call it a coach's bump, whatever, right, like I can't quantify that, but they were at a market low against a team that like we were seeing their play dipping, right? So
Yeah.
for us to not make that play on the Wild, that's really bugging me. I just wanted to get that off my chest.
I will appreciate the honesty.
I get how it is. I get how it is. Sometimes it's just you go back and look at something, you go, I should have been on that.
Unacceptable.
That's all right. You know what? That's the kind of pressure we're putting on ourselves, the accountability we put on ourselves here on the Edgework Show. That's why we're doing so well. We have a day where we're basically almost just a net zero, and we're sitting here saying we could have been better. This could have been better. We will be better moving forward. So I appreciate that so much.
That's the kind of culture we're building around here.
Exactly.
Yes, exactly. It's a full team buy-in. Well, thank you to everyone. Thank you so much for putting in the effort. Alex, thank you for coming here this morning. As always, look forward to seeing both of you guys back here on Monday morning. For everyone in the chat, if you're looking for our Saturday best bets, follow us on Twitter, EdgeworkHQ. You'll see those tweeted out. Usually put those out between 12 to 12:30 so that you get those ahead of game time. If you're following us on BetSamp, you see them come in there as well. You can track everything given out throughout the course of the day, but then you can have some Saturday bets because obviously no shows on the weekend. So thanks to everyone who tuned in here today. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel. Enjoy the games tonight. There's only a few, maybe not the greatest games on the schedule, but find a way to enjoy them. Good luck on your bets. We'll see everyone back here Monday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Enjoy your weekends.